Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. We're here today, second Cabral HouseCall of the weekend. Always the second follows the first, right? So this is episode 3103. Hopefully you got to tune in yesterday. We had a lot of great questions from the community. Just opening up our fun document now from all of our community members who write in, and we got to about 5 or 6 yesterday. We went over recurring yeast infections. We talked about new advancements in contact lenses with blue light blocking ability, whether that's good or bad. We also talked about why some people get brain fog or fatigue when they start to use certain supplements, how the switch happens in the autonomic nervous system. So we got in depth on that. That was a lot of fun. We talked about VO2 max, how to improve that, what to focus on. And then we also talked about sauna and is it okay for breastfeeding moms, as well as when to use something called natural Gatorade. So if you don't know the answers to those questions, head on over to stephencabral.com/3102. And today, of course, is episode 3103. Let's dive into the first question. And it looks like it's from Michael. Michael says, are there ways to reverse erectile dysfunction? I'm 51, very active, weight training, jiu-jitsu. Thanks. Appreciate it, Michael. Happy to answer the question. Direct, straight to the point. Literally one line on my Word document. Fantastic. All right. So there are so many ways. And that's the nice thing is that we don't know I don't know if it's a nice thing or not, but we don't always know the way that it's affecting you. But what I can say is we know all the ways in order to improve erectile dysfunction naturally. So right now you're active, you weight train, you do jujitsu. I don't personally know you, we haven't met before, but if I'm just kind of like developing a character around someone, I've worked with myself personally. I've done over 40,000 one-on-one consultations. I've overseen a team of over 250,000 consultations, and I get to know certain individuals. So weight train, jiu-jitsu, active, like I get it, totally understand. What happens though is we need to balance that then with the parasympathetic. So if someone's a hard charger, they're a high performer, like many people, in my practice, what we need to say is, I know it's sometimes boring, but we need to get our 8 to 9 hours of sleep. We need to recover. We also need to make sure that we're doing cardiovascular work, not just anaerobic work, that we're doing aerobic work, which, believe it or not, is actually great for the circulatory system as well. Then we need to make sure that we're getting anti-inflammatory nutrition. And unfortunately, right now, it's being told to people that you should only be eating meat, right? Like that's it. And a high-fat diet. That's not it. It's an anabolic diet, but it can be an inflammatory diet. So we need to balance that with more of a Mediterranean diet. I'm not saying you can't eat meat, but what I am saying is if you want to live a long time and not just like 65 to 75 years old for a male, which is way too young, way too short, we need to do things to balance that right away. And we're already starting to see that, right, in vascular-based issues. Okay, and again, if you're having erectile dysfunction, there may be vascular issues then with the brain and with the heart, right, because that's not necessarily normal, so we want to fix this. Natural anti-inflammatories are great, but I would much rather find the underlying root cause. So here's how we find the underlying root cause. You run the Big 5 labs, stephencabral.com/big5. Check out what they are. You don't have to run them with me. I just want you to know, like, I'm recommending them because it will help you find the answer. But don't think that you have to run it with Equalife. It's just with Equalife, you get the consultation, you get your personalized wellness plan included. Same goes for when you run it with an Integrative Health Practitioner level 2. All right. We need to see if there's too many omega-6 to omega-3s, if there's heavy metals, if there's high cortisol, right? All of these things will affect your blood flow, right? So yes, a lot of people will tell you, all right, include more curcumin, include more L-arginine or L-ornithine, include some fish oil, include some magnesium. All those things can be true, like no doubt about it. But why wouldn't we look for the underlying root cause? Another product to help boost testosterone, daily testosterone support. It's being renamed daily meal support so that it's like legally compliant. And yeah, but the thing is, like, that's still not looking at the underlying root cause. I like to work on underlying root cause while still giving you things that help to boost testosterone and help with erectile dysfunction. All right, so hopefully that makes sense. And then if you can, read the Rain Barrel Effect. It's free. Go to stephencabral.com/freebook. All right, Laura's up next. Hi, I've heard of I can't even say this. This is going to sound outlandish, but true. And you might know this if you're following me on YouTube, and I hope you are subscribing to the show. We got banned on YouTube for 1 week. They gave us a strike. Second strike, actually, because we talked about a certain vitamin in regards to cancer. Can't do that. We then talked about a product I can't even say the name of. So I can't say your question, but I can write your question. So your question's at stephencabral.com/3103. I literally can't say it. We're going to have to bleep it out. I don't even know how we'll say it. Well, you'll have to read it. So we got banned on YouTube for a week. We couldn't post any videos because I literally said this word, even though when I was talking about it in the question, I actually was against it because they were using this product every day and all of their drinking water, which I don't recommend. Okay, so I don't know what I can say, honestly, because then we're going to get banned for another week. So they're basically asking about the difference, though, between colloidal, chelated, and liposomal, and I can answer that. Okay, so colloidal is a suspended mineral. I can say that. Chelated means bound by specific amino acids to improve absorption. Liposomal means bound to a fat, typically, a phospholipid to help with absorption. So all of them can be great though, and really we're talking about what is it being used for. So we use chelated minerals all the time in our practice, like full spectrum magnesium. You'll see that it's lysine, citrate, and biglycinate or just magnesium glycinate. So that's what they're bound to. So it helps with improve absorption. As I said before, colloidal is a suspension, and the suspension is what allows everything to just float in the water. It can be really great, but again, I don't even know what words I can use anymore so I don't get banned. But people will often use the chelated form rather than the colloidal form if they are using a nebulizer. Hopefully this doesn't get me banned. All right. And liposomal, we don't use a ton in my practice, honestly. We do use some of it, and it's bound to a phospholipid. It's just some people aren't able to break them down as well. So even though they should get absorbed better, it doesn't always digest as well. And we just haven't found the need for it, to be honest with you, in most of our products. Okay. If you want to see what the question actually says, head on over to stephencabral.com/3103. And I apologize, but it's too bad. That's literally what we're dealing with right now. All right, Stephanie's up next. Stephanie says, "Hi, Dr. Rawl. I had a question about supplements taking Fatlocity, or now called Metavolve. I currently take my daily activated multi, daily nutritional support powder, omega-3s, vitamin D, CalMag Complete, alkalizing vitamin C, probiotic, and balanced zinc, all Equilife brands. I noticed on the ingredient list for the Fatlocity or Metavolve supplements, it has about the same amount of magnesium and zinc that I take with the balanced zinc and CalMag. Am I overdoing it by continuing my regular supplement protocol and adding the Fatlocity supplements? Should I hold off on taking the balanced zinc and CalMag while on Fatlocity? Also, how long do you recommend being on the Fatlocity system? I love the way it makes me feel and makes me sleep great. Thank you so much for sharing all your wisdom." Yeah, I appreciate that. And it's literally the most underrated product out there. And that's just because we don't do a lot of marketing for it. And honestly, you can't, because it helps boost your metabolism. And so you can basically say nothing, even though it's clinically proven. Even when I share the PubMed studies, I still get blocked. It's the wildest thing. You're only allowed to promote one agenda, and that is conventional medicine. And if you go against it, you get banned. It's just the craziest thing. And people always say, well, why don't you put your videos on this and this platform? It's just because nobody's on those. Like, there's just not as many people. And that's why. And we have a small team. This is all grassroots. So that's why we ask people just to share the video, subscribe on YouTube, subscribe, obviously, every day. I, at least for now, own my own website, so you can always find the videos there as well. Okay, so let's answer your question, though. The Metavolve product, believe it or not, replaces estrogen balance. It replaces your thyroid, daily thyroid support. It replaces balanced zinc. It does not replace liquid melatonin or magnesium or adrenal soothe, but it replaces the sleep help support. Yeah, it's a phenomenal product. So basically what it does is it helps to lower cortisol naturally, boost thyroid, improve your sleep at night, improve thermogenesis, burn more body fat. And it's clinically proven to do so, just like people like yourself. We had over 100 reviews on Fatlocity. And again, this is just small grassroots, like almost 5-star. If you use the product, please go and review it on Equilife. It's just equi.life. And look up Metavolve now. It's the same product. We had to rename it. It's unbelievable. But we had to rename it because Shopify, our shopping cart, wouldn't let us use the name anymore. It's so wild, but they would not let us. So anyway, yeah, we appreciate the support. If you can leave a review of again, because we had to start completely from scratch 2 weeks ago. Okay, so it replaced your Balance Zinc. It doesn't replace CalMag. So there's only like 50 milligrams, I think, of magnesium in there. So no, it doesn't replace that. You still use your CalMag Complete, all right? Hopefully that's helpful. Tyler's up next. Apologize about all the rants today, but it's just 2 questions in a row where literally like big tech and big pharma, which are real, like have blocked us from doing these things. It's so crazy. There is no real free speech. There really isn't. And it's too bad. I don't know what we're going to do about it. I don't have all the answers. I really don't. And I'm like literally one person. And I wish there was more we could do. And I know there is, but we need more of us together, and we need to figure out platforms that allow for real free speech. And then we actually get people over there without it being, to, Yahoo land and that can be legitimate. So, all right, here we go. Tyler's up next. Hello, Dr. Cabral. I'm trying to convince my partner that it is possible to eliminate autoimmune diseases. She has a disease called Behçet's inflammation of the blood vessels. Yes, vascular autoimmune issue is believed to be autoimmune. And I'm trying to get her to believe that by addressing the root causes, she can get rid of her disease. Wondering if you have any more information on Behçet's and the ways to treat it. Thanks. Yeah, I'm happy to help with this. So keep in mind, regardless of your autoimmune issue, call it whatever you want. Rheumatoid, lupus, psoriasis, certain forms of alopecia, Hashimoto's, etc. You are looking at deficiencies and you're looking at toxicities. Your partner, wife, I don't know, but we'll just say partner, has had this in her genes for quite some time. But it expressed itself based on an environment that allowed for it. She most likely wasn't suffering from this when she was 6 years old. She just most likely wasn't. Just like most people don't have Hashimoto's or rheumatoid arthritis at 6 years old. Same genes, your genetics never change. The expression, the epigenetics do. So and it's not, I don't want to oversimplify this, but all we have to do then is reverse the expression because the genes don't change. So here's what we can do. Let's find out the underlying root cause of what allowed those genes to express themselves. The very first thing she should do is read the rain barrel effect. Because if she's not even really willing to read the rain barrel effect, it's going to be difficult to get her to want to, because someone has to want to, do the things that she's going to need to do, right? So run the Big 5 plus the stool test. Look for all the imbalances. They will be there. They're not hidden. They're hidden until you run the labs. They really are. Okay, so we did that. Comes with a personalized plan. Comes with the full consultation. The Big 5 comes with 90-minute consultation. Go through everything you need to know. Then you're going to begin with the 21-day functional medicine detox, but first run the labs because it will skew your results if you don't. Then you're going to run the 21-day detox. Then you're going to go into your personalized protocol. Might be the CBO protocol with citracidal, might be the heavy metal, but your coach will give you all of the plans that you need. And we begin to empty that rain barrel. So pick up the book. It's free. I pay for the printing of the book. Cost me around $7. You pay for the shipping. It's about $7. You can find that at stephencabral.com/freebook. Okay. Vanessa's up next. Hi, I love your show. Thanks for all your advice. Thank you, Vanessa. Recently, I was in the hospital for bowel obstruction. I eat healthy, work out, and drink my water. What can I do for prevention, and what workouts would you recommend? I do, as I love the gym. All right, so I don't necessarily believe that the workouts are going to cause any issues with bowel obstruction except for any greater stress that you put on yourself, right? So like that's kind of how I look at it. And just most humans need a mix between resistance training and aerobic workout. Now, for all of my 20s, I was super against aerobic workouts because I specialized in body transformation. I help people to look and feel their best, right? And you don't need aerobics to do that. But as I'm no longer in my 20s and I started to do more and more research as I got into my later 20s, I realized that aerobic and cardiovascular health are very important as you age. But when you're 20-something years old, you don't really think about ever being 50-something years old or 80-something years old, right? So, okay, that's part of it. We just get the balance there. But what we need to do, this would be my opinion, is I would run the bacteria and parasite stool test, Vanessa. I would look to see if you have parasites, H. pylori, bacterial imbalance, or yeast. That one test will show you the different issues of your gut microbiome. So if you can, run the Big 5 plus that test. If you can't afford that, totally get it. Run the bacteria and parasite stool test. Then you may need to do the Parasupport protocol, and you may need to do the CBO protocol to rebalance your gut microbiome. But it'd be the most important thing that you do, right? To rebalance what the bacteria looks like in your gut. So that's important. And then from there, hydration and fiber are extremely important to keep the bowels moving. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. I don't own any stock in fiber, and I don't own any stock in water, right? Like, these are things that are very inexpensive, but are crucial that we do. So be careful, again, for anybody telling you that you don't need your fiber in your diet. Now, 7 to 9 cups of fruits and vegetables every day, but you might not be able to start there, especially if you have bacterial imbalances. It might be a really bad idea. So that's why we look at the test first, then we recommend the nutrition plan. You ease into it, but get your 35 plus grams of fiber per day, get your water every single day, about half your body weight in ounces per day. But again, nobody can give you the exact amount until you start to work the plan, get into it, ease into the fiber, and to begin to rebuild the healthy microbiome of your gut. So hopefully that was helpful. That is it for today. We got through all of our Cabral HouseCall questions for the weekend. Apologies about a couple of the rants and all the powers that be, but it is what it is. And that's why I appreciate your support of the Cabral concept. We're going on 8+ years answering our community's questions, bringing you a daily show. This is a grassroots movement. I appreciate you being a part of it. I would love to see you, each and every one of you, this October at the Reimagine Health Summit. It's our live in-person event. It is for everyday people to learn specifically about their health, about longevity, adding a healthy 20 years to their life, checking out the latest and greatest in health technology and all sorts of gadgets and amazing different things. And of course, we get to meet in person, which would be amazing. That you can find out more details at rhsevent.com or the reimaginehealthsummit.com. Either one, you'll find it there. It's in October of this year. Would love to see you there. Take care, everybody. I'll be back tomorrow with a brand new Mindset and Motivation Monday. Thanks so much for tuning into today's show. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I want to make sure that you're getting our daily content, not missing out on anything functional medicine, wellness, weight gain, weight loss, anti-aging, living longer, stronger, and all of the most cutting-edge research. And if there's any topics you want to hear, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Take care.